For the next 2 weeks, until February 23rd, all trades are on hold. Steve Yzerman's rumored to be incredibly busy. He's rumored to have contacted almost every team in the league. But before this season, 2 of the trades that he's made are a key part of Detroit's success right now. John Gibson and Alex DeBrincat are, so far, the biggest deals that Yzerman has made in Detroit. This is your 7-Minute Wings. Welcome back to the Red Wings Report with Strings and Pucks. This is Jeremy Laura. Please click like. If you haven't yet, please click subscribe and share this out. Head over to hockeyhotstove.com. I write the Red Wings column. You can read my latest write-up and news and information about all the other teams. But the Olympic coverage is starting, and there are some really great writers that will be covering the games. It's interesting to see the discussions about trades in the comments. There are some of you who do not want any trades at all. You think that the prospects and draft picks are too valuable to part with, so you just want to wait and develop. There are some of you that want to take a huge swing and try to become a contender now. I've seen both. For me personally, I'm in the same spot I've been in since last summer. I think the team needs a top 4 defenseman and a top 6 forward, preferably a centerman. Just looking at the team right now, I do not believe anyone in the system is going to develop into a top 4 defenseman. I think Boyum leads the way, and I think he'll slot well into the bottom pairing. But I think to really round out a competitive top 4, you're going to need to bring someone in. Again, that's my opinion, and right now, everything's shut down, so nothing's going to be happening for a while. But I wanted to take a step back and look at the biggest trades Yzerman's made so far as the GM for Detroit, and that's Alex DeBrincat and John Gibson. On July 29th, 2023, Steve Yzerman acquired DeBrincat from the Ottawa Senators for a first-round pick that had belonged to Boston, a fourth-round pick, Dominic Kubalik, and Donovan Sebrango. Yzerman then gave DeBrincat a 4-year, $7.875 million extension that goes to the end of 2027. In his first season with Detroit, DeBrincat had 27 goals and 40 assists in 82 games. Last year, he hit 39 goals and 31 assists, 70 points in 82 games. So far this year, he has 30 goals and 27 assists, 57 points in 58 games. He's currently on pace for a career-high 42 goals and 80 points. DeBrincat had exploded on the scene in Chicago, and he and Patrick Kane clicked immediately. He eclipsed 41 goals twice for the Blackhawks before he was traded to Ottawa. After that trade, he had 2 straight 27-goal seasons and seemed to be struggling. He was reunited with Kane last season, and his production jumped back up. Kane and DeBrincat are the highest-producing USA-born duo in the history of the NHL. The deal that brought DeBrincat to Detroit has provided Detroit's top goal scorer last year and so far this season as well. The trade for John Gibson has been massive for this team. To get Gibson, the Wings gave up goalie Peter Mrazek and 2 draft picks, a 2026 fourth round and a 2027 second round. Gibson is signed for 1 more season at $6.4 million. The initial reviews were mixed on the deal last summer, but at camp there was a lot of excitement. The players openly acknowledged how enthusiastic they were about the deal that brought Gibson to Detroit. But through the preseason and early on, Gibson was struggling. I was hearing a lot of negativity about his arrival, and Cam Talbot was carrying the load, and there was a decent segment of the fan base that thought the Gibson trade was an absolute bust. And then December happened. Gibson's stats so far this season: 22 wins, .904 save percentage, 2.62 goals against. But since the beginning of December, when he took off, his numbers have been incredible. In that stretch, he's 18-5-1, with a .923 save percentage and a 2.1 goals against average, and 4 shutouts along the way. That road trip in December was a huge reset button. Gibson took over in net, and the Red Wings pushed their way to the top of the standings. He's provided incredible stability for a team that's still figuring out how to play team defense consistently. Right now, they have a ton of confidence when Gibson's in net, and he's been a workhorse. The Olympic break has a huge upside. Gibson gets 3 weeks of rest before the insane push to the finish. There's an interesting twist in all of this. Yzerman had tried to finish this trade last season. He'd wanted to get Gibson in before the final stretch, but an injury derailed the discussions. This is where Yzerman's methods work against him a bit. When the trade happened around the draft, it seemed to come out of nowhere. Now we know that the deal was almost closed months before. Imagine a healthy John Gibson in Detroit last year when the team came back from 4 nations. That could have been a difference maker down the stretch. And right now the team has some stability with Gibson signed through next year. Sebastian Cosa is coming up through the ranks and could well have a season in net with Gibson as a starter, helping him to learn his trade in the NHL. DeBrincat and Gibson have been a huge part of this team's success. Those deals right now have been the best of Yzerman's tenure. He's rumored to be the busiest GM in terms of how many teams he's spoken to, and whenever the next deal closes, it'll seem like it came out of nowhere. But like Gibson, it was probably months in the making. Like I said earlier, there are a lot of mixed reactions to any possible trades. In the end, we don't know what Yzerman will manage, but he's certainly shown the ability to bring in the right player. In 2 weeks, the trade freeze is lifted. Regardless of what happens, Gibson and DeBrincat are going to be a huge part of the team's final push for the playoffs. This was your 7-Minute Wings.